So one of the most censored stories of the year at Project Censored, a debt crisis looms for the world's poorest nations. And I'm going to bring you an aspect of this that they don't even cover in the story, but the world's poorest countries will pay 35% more in debt, in debt interest, not the debt, the interest on the debt in 2023 than they did in 2022. 35% more interest. Many countries spend like a lot or most of their GDP on just paying the interest on the debt that they owe. Due to the cost associated with COVID and the dramatic increase in the price of imported food, as reported by the World Bank, 75 impoverished nations, most in sub-Saharan Africa, will spend roughly $62 billion to meet the repayment requirements of loans primarily obtained in the past decade, according to a December 2022 article from The Guardian. And they do reference The Guardian here. The point of Project Censored is that they bring you stories that were covered very rarely in mainstream media. So it doesn't mean that The Guardian didn't do one report on it. There may have been a couple others. I think they mentioned a couple others covering the debt crisis, but maybe not covering the debt crisis in poor nations. But the point is, this needs to be covered a lot more. A Guardian article published in April 2023 reported that 91 low-income countries will spend more than 16% of their revenues on external debt repayments, the highest level in 25 years. 16% of their incoming revenue goes immediately to the interest on the debt, not paying off the debt, to the interest on the debt. But here's the thing is, this is by design. So this is what the article doesn't really get into. This is by design. This is how the U.S. has managed to colonize many countries in Africa, Latin America, etc., without technically colonizing them, without being in their country. They gave them loans, and this is done through the World Bank and the IMF. They gave them loans that they knew they couldn't pay back in order to, build up their country a little. And sure enough, here they are trapped into this interest, payments so that they, A, remain poor, B, remain indebted to the World Bank and the U.S., and C, are no threat to the U.S. empire. They generally will often vote with the U.S. empire because the U.S. will give them, will either threaten them, say, we're going to, cut off your aid or whatever, or, literally give them money to help pay the interest on their debt, etc. Loan repayment. It was actually, here's a good example of it. I hadn't even thought of this. Here's a good example of the way it's used. Remember the clip of Biden? I've played it. Right-wing media love to play it, so at least it's getting out there. But the clip of Biden before he was president saying publicly, it was on a stage when he said it, that he went to Ukraine and told them if they didn't fire the prosecutor, the government prosecutor that was looking into his son's, the company his son sat on the board of, Burisma. Now, he didn't mention the son part, but we learned it later, Hunter Biden. If they didn't fire the prosecutor that was looking into Burisma and the fraud going on, financial fraud going on there, then Biden, this is what Biden said. He said, you will not get the $4 billion in loan repayments, whatever it was, billions of dollars in loan repayments, guarantees. So he threatened this billions of dollars, which is what the U.S. does when they want to get something. And sure enough, the country, the government of Ukraine, this is pre-war, pre-proxy war, pre-Biden presidency, fired the prosecutor because they needed the billions of dollars. So that's how the U.S. does business. They don't normally say it publicly like Biden did, but that's how they do business. And that is what these debts are used for, to control these countries, to get extraction rights from them, etc. And the other point I'll make here that's not made in the article is that the U.S., although we have crazy debt, I don't even know what it is. What is it, 11 trillion now? 20 trillion? I don't know. Oh, no, I think it's 20-something trillion. U.S. debt clock. Oh, wait. In real time, 41 trillion by, never mind. Right now it is 34 trillion. That's the U.S. debt clock. Now, the U.S. doesn't have to worry about having some sort of debt catastrophe because of the petrodollar, because we have so much power in our dollar and we just print whatever we want. So we print large amounts of money. We increase the US dollar monetary supply by 20% just during the pandemic. We print what we want, and it still has power. Other countries can't do that. Most other countries cannot print whatever they want. The US can. So it's a completely different game for the United States, which gives us our military spending $1 trillion a year, which gives us our power, etc. Completely different game for the United States than other countries.